Alrighty, welcome pickle traders. It is time for another automated insight. We're just going to go over our kind of core markets, gold, SP 500, US-30, Bitcoin, and kind of talk about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going as we get ready for the trading week ahead. So we'll start here with gold. You can see where we've been. Our low back here, all the way back in February was this 1804, 1809 range. So we'll call that, the low 1800s, and the high, 2078 per ounce. So we've kind of been trading in between this range right here. This has been the big extreme move, and we're kind of basically testing all these levels back to this 1809 level. So while I think we've probably found some sort of level where we're at, we're still trading in between this range 1987 and like this 1884 range. My guess where we're going is that we're going to be heading back towards this lower 1800 to validate if that's a real price. When we look at the tools, they also would tend to suggest that we didn't quite get a full cycle here on the 1 hour. This is 1 hour and 4 hour for our fractals, but we are rolling over. Delta's high rolling over, Delta high rolling over in the 4 hour. We're also orange band, which means, this is probably a local high. So how we start the week, gold, the bias is going to be down just by looking at these deltas and the range that we're in. So we got that to look forward to. As far as S&P 500, where we've been in this big range back from March range 3809 to more recently 4606, and we're basically just trucking higher. As you can see, higher highs and higher lows through here, but most recently we're starting to get lower lows. And as I've been talking about, we've been picking up these nickels in front of steamrollers, just looking at the delta tool or the prime tools here. So on the 1 hour, we've definitely rolled over. 4 hours still has a lot of rollover left to go. So my guess would once again be that where we want to go is down back to this 3809 level to retest some of these levels in between here. So I think that's where we're going. US-30, where have we been? Pretty tight range, but we've been back in March, 31,427, and most recently 35,689. You'll notice we're getting kind of flat trading through here. I know it looks a little up, but mostly this is just kind of flat and range bound, probably waiting to see what the rest of the market's going to do. You can see very similar to the S&P 500 on the 1 hour, and on the 4 hour we're starting that rollover. So once again, where are we going? Bias is down. Just looking at the fractals. So Monday we'll start to see, it would not shock me at all, just like S&P, to have a little pop up here to the point of control and then continue that downward climb back to these lower ranges as we retest this giant range. Okay, on to Bitcoin. Same thing. Where have we been? We 24,840 back in June, and then we basically were range bound from June all the way to August, and we're kind of just recently unwinding. So we're in this big fall off. We don't really know where the low is going to be. I imagine somewhere between 24 and 25. Just that's retesting those lower ranges. We also have the 1 hour. The Alpha Prime and the Prime tools are completely rolled over. 4 hour, you can see we topped out back here in May, and it still has yet to fully make its cycle. So once again, I think most of the financial world is just on the look for these lower prices as we are factoring in, what the Fed is doing here in the United States and what central banks are doing around the world. So I imagine most of the markets will continue in this fashion, but definitely on these, some markets are overextended. We want to watch as soon as we see any hint that this fractal time frame is going to turn up. We're probably going to be ready, just because we're now bottomed out twice here. So I hope that was helpful, and we'll see y'all in the next one.